Hey, happy holidays, folks! Guess what? I'm going to show you how to make Junior Johnson's apple moonshine pie. It's a secret recipe, and actually, I'm the only one who knows how to make it. So here we go. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take, first off, the lid off this jar, because you know what? You have to sample the stuff to make sure it's even any good, right? All right, so here we go. One for me, and one for the beautiful camera lady behind the glass. Here you go, camera lady. Let's find out if this is any good. Cheers. Here's a moonshine pie. That's actually pretty good. This has a great flavor. It's one of the reasons why this is a secret ingredient in this particular moonshine pie. All right, so here we go. So the first thing we need to do is take these candied lemons, and this is lemons and oranges. And what that is the night before we have candied them, boiled them down, added sugar, boiled them again until they're translucent, almost like the color that you would see like in the stained window is like almost the same way. Anyways, the next day, here they are, they're nice and dry, and this basically sugar. You can eat them, or we're going to do what we're going to do with them. So the first thing we want to do, we're going to take a little Oscar blender. And by the way, Oscar blender since the 70s. This thing still works, by the way. It works wonderful. So we're going to take a little Oscar blender. We're going to throw in some of our orange peels. And we're going to whiz it up. And not very much, we want some chunks, because this makes the real nice citrus bits inside the pie. We're almost there. All right. Big pieces in that thing, but that's what we're after. These are like the pieces that'll really help complement the apple. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so here we go. Oh, this smells so good. Here, smell that. It really does smell pretty good. So we're going to throw this in our mixing bowl, and we're going to do this again. Now, the reason why we're doing this again this time is while we're doing this, we're going to add some raisins to this. And what happens is the raisins will actually break down, and they act form of the pectin. They'll kind of make the stuff a little thicker, and it actually works. Okay, we'll get that settled in there. We're going to take some golden raisins. These are going in our pie too. I'm going to take a handful of these out and throw them in there. Really just a handful or two. And these are moist. So because of that, they're also dry, but they have a high amount of sugar. So this pie requires very little amount of sugar, actually, because we're just putting sugar on sugar naturally into this. Okay, here's some seedless raisins. All right. Now we're going to make this a little finer, because we need this to dissolve inside the pie mix. Almost there. Okay. These are also going to add into our bowl. All right. This smells fantastic. Well, you can't smell it, but you will. All right. So now we're going to take a cup of each of these raisins. And the reason why we're taking a cup of each is that way it kind of gives this pie a really interesting balance, because these are definitely two different kinds of raisins, and they taste that way too. Some people prefer these, some people prefer the dark ones. I alone prefer raisins. Don't care. All right, here we go. So black ones, so a couple of one. We're getting there. Y'all following along now? Because I'm not really following along. Oh, come out of here. These raisins they're moist, so they stick together. It's a good thing. Okay. I'm just going to loosen these up by hand, throw them in there. Almost done. Because next comes our spices. And these are really easy. You don't even have to have a recipe. You just got to remember, okay? So, all right. Okay, and that'll do the raisins. All right, we'll get those out of the way here. Hang on. Okay, now we're on to our spices. And spices are really easy. We've got 5 spices total right here. We've got ground cinnamon, we've got ground ginger, we've got ground nutmeg, and then our 2 powerful spices, which are allspice and clove. And we're actually going to be using less of these in the spice mix because they're overpowering the other 2. All right, so how this works out is our first 3 spices, we're going to use 1 teaspoon. Don't forget to follow along because I'm not posting the ingredients. Okay, so cinnamon, we get a teaspoon. 1 teaspoon cinnamon, down the hatch. 1 teaspoon of ginger. And this adds a really bright flavor to the pie, and it's just awesome. Ginger goes in. I'm doing this really fast here. Here we go. Nutmeg, seasoned, spice of the season. All right. Now we have a half a teaspoon of the other 2, which is the allspice, half a teaspoon, and of the clove, ground, half a teaspoon. All right. And that concludes our spices. We have one more thing to do to our dry mix is we have to add 1/3 a cup of brown sugar. All right, now we're going to turn it. I'm going to turn this for you. This really does smell fantastic. All right. I cannot stress how important it is to have your lemon and orange peel candied properly, all right? And we're talking the orange peel of 4 oranges and 2 lemons. You just take off the orange peel, don't take the white part off, and then you boil them until they're clear like church glass windows. Just like I told you, that's what it looks like. Okay, we are just about ready to start putting this in the jar. Here, check this out. And that's what that looks like. All right, so we're now ready to can it. This is that time. Okay, so we got ourselves our big quart jar, mason jar. And I make this easy. I just happen to have one of these little flexible cutting boards. I put it in here and let her go. Look at that, it makes a nice little cone. And it makes it easy for us to put this in here. These are all dry ingredients anyways, so they go pretty quick. Our professionals only, by the way. All right. See how that worked out? Done deal. So now we're about ready to make this all magic, but before we do that, here's to you, and here's to holidays, and here's to our troops. All right, now we take the moonshine, the apple moonshine, remember? We're going to pour it right in here. Less the 2 shots, of course, and notice it comes out perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put a lid on it. We're going to leave it on the counter, and it's going to sit for about 5 days. And this will all be dehydrated and ready to go. And we'll talk about how to make this pie part 2 in our next section. So here it is, Junior Johnson's Apple Moonshine Pie, and